Hey guys, it's my turn. I am back in Fargo as well. I think Paul and I took concurrent trips to Minneapolis, sort of at the exact same time. As you saw in my last video, I went to Minneapolis to hang out with a good friend, play some poker. I talked a little bit about that and about just the hobby of poker and what you guys do for fun. But now I'm back in Fargo. Very excited tonight. It's Thursday. I have one of my swing dancing events. If you're in Fargo, you should come check one of these out if you have any interest in dancing at all. It's a total blast. But yeah, nothing too crazy to update on. I would say I have been doing a lot of thinking. You've seen sort of the lineage of some of the questions I've been asking in my videos recently about life being big and hobbies and how fulfilled we're supposed to be. And I've been thinking a lot about that. I had a very good counseling session last week with my counselor, and I did a lot of thinking about what my current job is. I work with family, about what that means, about working with my dad, about if there's more on the line than just wanting to do well at my job, but if that relationship's impacting that, and if some of my self-sabotaging behavior also impacts that, where I will not work hard or I will do things besides work while at work. And I understand that we all have boring stuff at work, but sometimes I think it's a little bit in excess, or it's a little bit too extreme of a self-sabotage, that it's something else that's going on there. So I'm trying to listen to what's going on inside of me. I'm trying to listen to my heart, and get a sense of why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I've been in Fargo about 2 years. I've been divorced about a year and a couple months here. And just getting a sense of what's next. I have a really great mentor here in Fargo. I'm a guy who's almost 50, which seems really young to me now. Like, I remember guys who were almost 50 feeling so wise and old, and now it just feels like he's, a few years older than me. He also looks pretty young too, but holds his age really well. But he made me read the book, or we chose to read together the book The Alchemist, and now it's been phenomenal. And we're going to be reading The Celestine Prophecy and The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Excited to read all of these books, but he's pretty convinced that that there's a creative side of me that needs to be unlocked. And so I'm trying to figure out if that's sort of in the after hours with work, or if that's sort of for my work, or for my 40, 50, 60 hour a week thing. One thing I've figured out is that as an addict, my dopamine system, the system I use to feel good every day, is pretty messed up. I can feel pretty upset when I'm not upset. I can feel just kind of bummed out, sad, I guess, when just sitting on my couch at home. And part of that, I think, is due to some of the anxiety of the day and the anxiety of not knowing what I'm doing and where I'm going. But I think I always just had that computer games, video games thing waiting for me. And it was always such a dopamine hit. It always felt so good to be on the computer playing World of Warcraft or StarCraft or Heroes or whatever it might be. And so now that I've completely eliminated that from my life, completely eliminated that addiction, I don't really have an easy go-to dopamine lever to press. Last night I finished this show Stranger Things. It's phenomenal. It's an incredibly good show. And basically, TV is a pretty similar thing to video games, but I haven't been addicted to it really ever, so I think it's somewhat safe for me to, last night I was just feeling kind of like not doing anything, and so it was a good, few hours of watching the show, and I liked that I watched it. I really was moved by the show. I thought the show was done incredibly well. The child actors are amazing. The soundtrack's amazing. The story is phenomenal. The CGI and everything's great. Highly recommend it. Maybe I should do that on my consumption corner tomorrow or the next day. But being able to have something to improve your mood and knowing what those things are, I think, is integral to leading a complete, full, disciplined life. I think it's good to build in things that are fun into our daily lives, into my daily life. Be that diet, I ate a pizza yesterday. It felt that tasted wonderful. Being able to have things that are a little bit guilty pleasures. For me, I can't have video games because I'm an addict, but something like TV is a nice little guilty pleasure once every couple of weeks or so, to watch a couple hours or a few hours of like a movie or a bunch of episodes of a TV show. But I guess I'm curious how people deal with this once again. I mean, it's sort of the same question, but when you guys are sitting at the house afterwards, and maybe you're not married, I'm kind of looking more at single people. I think I'm so extroverted that having no roommates in the house is kind of a difficulty. But I also like it because I'm able to focus in on myself and hear myself. I think when I'm constantly extroverted and surrounded by people, I really don't ultimately ask myself these brooding interior questions that have been sitting with me since I've been very young, 9 or 10 years old, existential questions about the meaning of life. So I'm curious what you guys do with that gnawing feeling if you don't have a dopamine hit. I know my ex-wife suffered from that. I know that was a huge pattern leading up to our divorce, is her watching TV every day for hours, just sitting out in the other room watching TV and not really being happy with it, not really feeling fulfilled in her life. And so I'm curious, what do other people do? I mean, do you exercise? Do you see friends, especially extroverts, but I'd say introverts too? Do you guys find a way to have a meaningful connection with someone? These are the things I'm trying to do, but it's hard. It's hard to build it into a regular routine schedule, because everyone's got varying schedules. They differ all the time. And so moving towards discipline, moving towards listening to myself, listening to what's going on in here, and trying to fill my cup as much as I'm able, so that when it overflows, I can pour into other people and pour into their lives as well. So it's my turn. Thanks for bearing with me. I think I'm 2 to 3 videos behind right now, and I just blew it. There's no excuse here, but I should be putting out those 2 to 3 videos, hopefully all today. We'll see if I can get through most of them. All right, peace out.